Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. The local chamber has been a staple for businesses to collaborate and coordinate in our region for many years and became the powerful tool it is today when it combined the Lake Sunapee Business Association and the New London Chamber in the mid-90s into the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce. From their headquarters and information office on Main Street in New London, our Laura James got to sit down with their executive director and hear her vision of this organization. Hi, Laura.
Thanks so much, Abby. We are here at the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce, speaking with Ashlee Rowley. Hi, Ashlee.
Hi, how are you, Laura?
Hi, thanks for having us today.
Oh my gosh, of course, anytime. This office is welcoming to all. Come on in anytime.
This office.
You had mentioned that when you came in.
It's so inviting. I just come in, I sit down and go,
Yep, there is a comfort here. Sometimes there's candles, sometimes there's jazz music. I mean, I like to keep it very comforting.
And so is KK the pup.
Oh, of course. Yeah, people come here just to see KK at this point. Like, who am I? I don't even know.
Speaking of which, so tell us your official title, please.
So here at the Chamber, I am the Executive Director. I have been here in February. It'll be 5 years. So it's kind of wild, you know, when we're talking about it and we're thinking about it, it feels like yesterday when I had my interview with the Board of Directors, but then at the same time, it feels like I've been here for a lifetime.
Well, you've been a member of the community for so long.
Yes.
That's what I was saying. It feels like you've been here a lifetime, but you really, it's just been 5 years.
I've been up here about 15 years.
Yes.
So I've been parts of different things, New London Inn. I've been part of different community organizations and different boards and things like that. And the chamber, honestly, it was an interesting transition how I got here, but I'm ever so happy that I did. And the amount of work that we can do and the calendar of the events that happen during the calendar of the year.
Yep. We know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the calendar that we create over the course of the year for our members is pretty impressive. And it's just very exciting to be able to sit behind this desk, be able to offer solutions and offer connections for all sorts of people, whether they're members, whether they're travelers, whether they're residents who are looking for someone. It's really just a great asset a chamber can bring to a community, and I'm happy to be able to sit in that chair.
Well, you know, we mentioned the facility and the fact that you are in the center of town. You really are the centerpiece right across from the New London Inn and a beautiful building. So not only do you service your members, but you have community members and visiting people who can just walk in.
Right. We have lots of brochures, lots of regional information, local information, also statewide information. People can come in, ask any sort of question. If I don't know the answer, I pretty much know who to ask for the answer, which is always helpful. And we always here go above and beyond. We have Granite State ambassadors who work here more often throughout the summer season, but they are incredibly welcoming.
I love them.
They're so great.
Oh my gosh, always so welcoming and so lovely and knowledgeable.
Yes, and I just recently actually came back to Manchester Regional Airport, and they're always there as well, welcoming people back. And you're coming down the escalator to go to the baggage claim, and voila,
there they are. That's just.
They're like, do you need help? Do you need assistance? Do you want me to call? Do you want brochures? Like, what do you need?
Isn't that amazing? So unique to New Hampshire.
It is very much.
I love. Okay, now a lot of us old timers think of the New London Chamber of Commerce, and that really morphed from that into the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
Tell us about the geographics and of the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber.
So we serve 12 communities, which is kind of wild. You know, so we serve the majority of the communities that are right around the lake. Obviously, that's kind of our anchor. We've got New London, Sunapee, Bradford, Wilmot, Springfield. We even reach Grantham and Newport, Newberry, of course. So we just have a lot. We have a very wide breadth of reach. And we have a lot of members in each of those communities. Our heaviest, we have about 250 members any given moment. We have new ones coming in all the time. We actually, last year in 2023, we had 23 new members, which is kind of wild.
That's
I just realized,
amazing.
So
wow.
it happens consistently. So we have always kind of these new members. We have members down in Concord, members in Lebanon. I mean, the reach is there for sure. So it's nice to be able to connect those businesses with local businesses here.
So define a member for our listening, viewing audience.
So when you're a member, you apply through our online application. It goes to our board of directors. They take a look at the who, the how, the where, the when, the why, and they say, yeah, you'd be a great addition to this particular organization. And then when you join the chamber, you can participate in one of our Member 101 orientations. And essentially, it's an opportunity for you to provide communications. It's an opportunity for you to learn about our networking opportunities, our sponsorship opportunities, and the connections that we can make with the other businesses that we have, and also regional and state resources.
So it makes sense for business to join the chamber.
Absolutely. Okay. I kind of tell people it's like I'm an additional arm to your business. You know, when you have a business owner, and I know the struggle of being a small business, it's hard because you wear so many hats all the time and you can't get to everything you want to get to. So having your membership through the chamber provides you an opportunity to have an additional marketing arm. We send out community newsletters. We share things on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So we even have YouTube. So we have all of those different mediums to help our members in whatever way they need help. So sometimes, you know, your individual post may only reach maybe 150 people.
Right.
But if you ask for a share, then you could double, triple, quadruple that. And it's always that power of connection. It's that power of outreach. And the more hands that are on it, the more opportunity you have to eventually look at your ROI.
So really unique and really strong networking opportunity, communication, and PR marketing arm.
Absolutely.
It sounds like.
Right.
But you're kind of unique because when you think of the chamber, of course you represent the businesses, but you also serve the public directly.
Right.
Is that a tough balance?
At times, yes, it can be. You know, because when someone walks in the door, you know, a normal chamber would just make sure that they only promote and advocate for the members that they have.
Right.
But here, being kind of a resource center, being a visitor center, you know, if we don't have a member in one specific area, I'm still going to give them the resources they need.
Of course.
And I'm still going to make sure that they have the options. Because the biggest and most important thing about our region is the travel, the tourism. You know, the people who come here, maybe they don't live here, maybe they come here, maybe they're generational, they have homes, their families have had homes here, but they come here to spend money. They buy our gas, they eat at our restaurants, they stay at our inns and bed and breakfasts, and they're contributing to our local economy. So the fact that I'm here to be able to assist and kind of encourage them to go to a certain direction, then it's all for the greater good.
I was so struck on your website when I was looking at it and said for over 2 centuries, people have been visiting the Lake Sunapee region.
It is. That's wild.
That's almost a responsibility, don't you think?
It is. Yes, very much so. And honestly, the best thing too about my position is I've actually had us participate in a lot more statewide initiatives for tourism than we have in the past. New Hampshire Travel Council, we have a direct arm to Department of Travel and Tourism for the state. So we're actually part of creating a new destination marketing organization in the region. So all of these pieces are all working arms to how we can promote what we've got going on here.
Give us a little insight into that marketing association locally.
Yeah, so some people, if you look at us on a map for travel and tourism for the state, you've got the 7 tourism regions. And technically we are listed as the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region. Right. Which is fine, except for a lot of us don't necessarily, the Dartmouth area isn't necessarily something that we here would call home. It's 45 minutes north, so it seems a little far away. So, you know, that Dartmouth Upper Valley piece kind of is its own entity, and then down here in the Lake Sunapee region, we're a little bit of
we're right on the edge of the Upper Valley. Right. They don't consider us a part of the Upper Valley.
Exactly, kind of vice versa, right? So it's great. We all work together and we all can do a lot of great things, but when you're looking at kind of marketing a region, it makes it very, very hard because it's so different, it's so diverse. Sure. So to be able to kind of narrow in a little bit closer on what we love in this kind of Route 11 corridor bit, we looked at the fact that the lake is definitely one of our anchors, and then the Sugar River also anchors all of that together. So it kind of connects through all of our communities in some fashion. So the Claremont Chamber, Newport Chamber, and myself have all come together and said, you know what, we need to create this destination marketing organization arm because we can't do it all. We're all just one-person operations. We need to have an additional element that kind of allows a little bit more flexibility to be able to apply for grant funding, to be able to promote the region as a whole, and not necessarily be tied to membership. It is strictly based on the tourism that we could have in this area.
You know, as you're describing that, I saw you talking about support, but strength as well. Right. Right. It gives you just a stronger position.
Yep. The more hands. Sometimes I say, you know, the more cooks in the kitchen, things can get messy. But sometimes when many hands make light work. So it's a balance between the two. Right.
That's right. In case you're just joining us, speaking with Ashlee Rowley. She's with the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce. So, Ashlee, I have to ask you the question I ask everyone these days, COVID. How did you navigate that and manage it and come out on the other side?
So it was a very interesting transition for us. Obviously, I was just new to my position. So not only am I learning what to do in my role, but also everything's shut down. And what am I supposed to do? I can't offer networking opportunities. I can't do any of these things that a chamber would normally do. So it was a complete 100% pivot. We ended up turning around and doing things completely virtually, as with a lot of people did. Our meetings, our networking opportunities, our educational sessions, our board meetings all went to virtual, which was a lot. You know, there was a big transition of members weren't necessarily comfortable with that a lot. So kind of teaching and providing resources to get them to be comfortable with that. That pivot was important. A lot of our we've got pickup of food and supplies and all of those medications, all those kinds of things really changed to that kind of curbside delivery option. So allowing our members to be able to have some of those resources as well and learning how to do that was important too.
You must have had a lot of calls from your members asking, how should we navigate this? How should we negotiate these waters? And what can you do to help?
So when we first, everyone said, oh my gosh, the world is shutting down. All of the businesses said, how can we make this work? We have to make this work. We don't have an option.
Right.
So we pivoted in terms of what we provided to our service, to our members. And one of those things was, how do they do this? How do they operate? How do they do business in a new world? And it was a very challenging, it was a big struggle, a couple years of trying to consistently update them with, here's best practices, here's what to do, here's some signage, here's wordage, here's how you can reach out. There's 1.5 million things that went on. And I think we're all better for it. I think we've all learned. I think we've all been able to kind of add new tools to our toolbox in case something like this were to happen again. But I think that overall it was a big lesson in how important our small businesses were to the community, because I think our residents then started to realize, well, okay, now I know that I'm helping my neighbor. I know that I'm helping my local business down the street if I order this for delivery, if I curbside pickup, if I do something to help them. It might be a little bit more inconvenient for me, but I'm helping them. And I think this sense of community was really shown during those 2 years of the pandemic. And I think too, for a chamber perspective, learning from my other larger chambers across the state about what they were doing to support their members was really important for me, because then I was able to take some of what they could do much on a smaller scale. We're not as a large of an organization as Concord,
Right.
but taking some of the things that they had done and then translating that to how we can help. And how we could have brought things to our members. So it was a very trying couple of years for everyone, but I think we're better, coming out of it for sure.
So, Ashlee, we talked about that, but also in the last 10 years, you've seen a huge change in the onset of social media.
Right.
Has that been accepted by businesses, or was that a transition for some?
It was definitely a transition for some. Some people still aren't quite there yet. They're still thinking about, okay, I guess I probably should have a Facebook page if I don't already have a Facebook page.
Right.
Well, that was a decade ago. At this point, right?
Now it's the dinosaurs.
Exactly.
On
right
Facebook,
at this point, I just did. We have a radio program, Day Trip Destinations, which you were on the radio too before, which is fun. But I think that we just talked about this actually, because it's been 20 years since Facebook was started.
Isn't that amazing? Yes.
So to look at some people who are, maybe they're in their 20s or maybe they're in their 30s and they're owning their own businesses. Like, this has been a staple for them since they started. So it's very interesting to kind of see that transition. But now we're on to TikTok, right? We're on to X or Twitter X or whatever it
used
is.
to be Twitter, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Now we're on Instagram and we're on Reels and short videos instead of posts, and there's always something is changing every single day, and it's really challenging to keep up with.
It is.
So having a resource to reach out and say, hey, listen, I'm struggling with this. I want to get more followers. I want to make sure that I'm reaching the kind of customer that I want to reach.
Right.
Because definitely you have to market to whom your target audience is. And it's going to definitely be different depending on who you're looking for generationally. And so I think that's been challenging for businesses. But I think honestly, especially since the pandemic, people have just said, you know what, I'm all in. Like, I have to do this.
Whatever
I don't
it takes.
have a choice, whatever it takes.
I have to survive.
Right.
So when I don't know something, I call Abby. That's what I do. And say, Abby, TikTok, really? Seriously?
Right.
I do Instagram. Do I need to do TikTok? And, so that's what you're the resource for businesses.
Right. They have to know. They have to know. Is this something? Is it lasting? Is it something that's going to stick around? Is it in fact going to help me, or is it something that I can just kind of let happen, around me?
Ashlee, we have a little problem.
Okay.
I could talk to you all day. I mean, and certainly the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce has been around for a very long time. We're so grateful for your efforts. And you have so many events and happenings. Can you tell us the best way to, now that we're speaking about social media, to find out about the events and happenings?
Honestly, follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can certainly find us there. Our website, LakeSunapeeRegionChamber.com. We have an ongoing calendar of events that are coming up for the Chamber. In 2024, we're actually switching from a business after hours. We're actually calling it a vibe at 5.
Okay, that's so cool.
I know, because we're trying to mix things up. We're trying to make it fun. It is a little bit of business, but it's also a little bit of fun.
Sure.
So, you'll find our Vibe at 5 schedule. You'll find that for the year up there. So that'll be fun too. And I think that the website's the best way to reach. And honestly, I am super approachable. So wherever you see me, I get stopped at the grocery store, at the post office, wherever it is.
Or driving through town, just pull over across from the inn and walk into the beautiful little cottage.
Yeah.
Ashlee Rowley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Back to you, Abby.
Thank you, ladies, and thank you to the Chamber and its members for enhancing our communities and activities by caring and being local. When we return, we'll hear from the Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners about their wood program that helps keep people warm. But first, please keep watching your Yankee Chronicle as we hear from another one of our fine underwriters that keeps your programming coming to you.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.